everyone, so welcome to another book video review of mine. So I lost count of the book review that I'm doing, but this is going to be an interesting review for another business book. So the book is entitled The Birth of a Unicorn, Basic 6 Steps to Success by Wilde. Now, I think this book is about a little over 100 pages. So I actually finished reading this in one sitting, and I have to say that, unlike any other self-help books or usually business books written by those who are successful, right? It is not anything like that, right? So I think that took me by surprise. So before we go into the review, let's just recap on how my book reviews are actually reviewed. So I actually review my book reviews based on 3 criteria, which are internal layout of the book, the plot development, and also the key takeaway messages. So now, number 1, the internal layout of the book. I actually had a little bit of a problem with the formatting, especially the ebook version. The headings were not really in place, and that made me confused. So I'm not sure what went wrong, or maybe that's a formatting error, or maybe just this particular print has this error, but the error was kind of obvious. So yeah, so for that I have to say that the internal layout of the book is maybe 4 out of 10, right? You can actually read it, the font, the spacing, those are all good, but it's just the alignment, and especially you don't really know where the chapter starts and ends, so that made reading a little bit difficult actually. But then coming to the plot development, right? So let me tell you briefly what this book is all about. It's about Heather and her husband. Heather is actually one of the founding members, one of the earliest employees of Evernote. Now I believe that nobody here that's watching this review that wouldn't know what Evernote is, right? So because Evernote is so famous. So she was among the founding members of this company, along with her husband. And so she actually brings us back to the point where she was struggling together with her husband. Her husband is also one of the founding members, and the other founding members, especially she walked us through the relationship, how difficult it would be for 2 people who are striving, who are struggling, who are doing their best to develop a company, so how their routines would be sometimes they would just go about a few days not really having quality time spent together. So the book pretty much had a lot of detailing about Heather and her husband's lives, an insight into their lives, and how at one point of time she was at the verge of the marriage was at the verge of collapsing, and how Heather actually prioritized her marriage over I wouldn't say prioritize the marriage over career, but I think how she balanced. And I think one of the key aspects of this book is work-life balance, and how you can actually attain work-life balance despite having a spouse who are as busy as you, and how you can navigate through the challenges. So the best thing I loved about the book is the fact that she did not sugarcoat anything, and she actually tells you the truth, like, you know, what kind of strains, ambitions, goals will have towards your personal life, towards health, towards relationships. You know, you will not have enough time for your family, you know, you will not have enough sleep. So she tells us the truth, you know, and that is what I loved most about this book, and I think a lot of other reviewers also felt the same. So coming to plot development, the story actually develops a little bit slow, and was a little bit sluggish, because Heather actually focused a lot on her husband and also the relationship, so that sort of, like, you know, felt a little bit like repetitive. But as you're nearing, like, you know, half of the book, the story picks up, and she eventually tells you, like, you know, what kind of marketing strategies that worked for them, and how is it to actually work along with new and upcoming software companies, like, you know, WhatsApp, right? So it's actually amazing to read through the journey, to walk down the memory lane with the author, to see how things have actually transformed now, not just for Evernote, but also for, like, you know, fellow startups like WhatsApp, you know. So it was like an amazing journey. So from the second half onwards, I would say that, you know, the story picked up, and the kind of strategies she used, how she showed compassion towards people who are working with her, a little bit of strategies that they have implemented at Evernote itself, and how it picked up along the way. So that is really amazing, right? So for that, I would give the plot development probably like about 7 out of 10, right? So for the key takeaway message, I would definitely say that the key takeaway message is it was really amazing. But like I said, the 6 basic steps to success, I'm not pretty sure, like, you know, if the title should have been that way, because it's not really like 6 basic steps kind of a thing. You don't really go through like step by step kind of, it's not a how-to book, you know. So the book focuses a lot on the basic needs of humans. So that, for that, I would really say that, you know, the author has done a very a fantastic job, because she wrote the book from her heart, right? Not just some self-help book that's coming from an entrepreneur. So she focuses on the basic needs of an entrepreneur, which is like the need for certainty, the need for uncertainty, the need for challenges, the need for growth, the need for contribution, the need for connection and love from people. So connection and love from people is what I think stands out the most of all the other elements, because I think affection, love, care is all what we as human beings we yearn for. So without this, I think even if you are successful, I think you will always feel that, you know, a basic component of your life is missing. So she has, which is why she has prioritized her marriage, you know, she balanced her marriage with career. She tried to save her marriage, you know. So I admire that, you know, because I think a lot of people, like really successful people, they would forego the marriage, they would forego a relationship, because they are so busy going after the success in career. So I think for that, I would really say that particular point, that particular aspect actually captured my attention. And so if, I mean, I would say this book would fit anybody who would like to walk down the memory lane with the author and see how they started, you know, and what it is right now, what are the personal challenges that they go through. So I would definitely recommend this book. I would say overall this book has actually scored about a 3.5 out of 5. But it is a quick, easy read, so you can just you can just finish this in one sitting. So if you are interested in learning about honest perspectives of authors, I would definitely say that you can give this book a shot. And so yeah, with that, I would see you all again in another book video review, and hopefully you guys are keeping safe, and yeah, I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.